If I say to you, when you hear the word diabetes, what do you think?
Well, I didn't pay any attention to diabetes, but today, when I think of diabetes today, I think of a serious illness. I think about a serious illness that's affecting people in our region. And I think the word people are taken too lightly in the fact that they don't understand, most people don't understand the severity of diabetes and how it can affect their life. And so I'm glad to be here today to maybe answer some of the questions that might help someone else that has diabetes or is diagnosed with diabetes to better understand what they might do to help them to have a normal, healthy life, and hopefully that would help them.
And was there something that happened that kind of changed the way you see things?
Well, 6 years ago, in January of 2006, I was diagnosed with diabetes, and how it came about, I had all the symptoms of a diabetic. Didn't understand at the time, didn't take serious those warnings, I guess, signals that came my way. And one morning, I waked up in the night with my arms and hands were numb and tingling and not having any feeling in them. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. I thought I just laid on them maybe. And so by the time morning came, they were still like that. And when I went to school, I'm a principal at Cleveland Elementary School, and when I went to school and told my secretary a little bit about what was going on, she's a diabetic, and so she told me we probably need to check your sugar, and when they did, it was 395. And so I took an appointment that afternoon and got to see the doctor, and my A1C at that time was, I think, around 9.2. And so the doctor put me on medication and gave me a diet plan, and told me that I guess all the things that diabetes can do to affect you, and those kinds of things. And I guess when I left that afternoon, I felt like maybe that I had cancer. I mean, it was that severe to me because I realized how, after he mentioned things to me, I realized people that I knew or had known that had suffered from losing extremities and sight and all those kinds of things. And so I tried my very best to, overcome the disease. And in doing so, I was able to get off of my medication within a year. And I've maintained, in the last 5 years, I've maintained A1C level of around between 5.5 and 5.7. And I've been able to do that without any medication.
So what have you done that's enabled you to do that?
First of all, when I first was diagnosed with diabetes, I changed my intake of food as far as the intake of sweets. I threw my Debbie cakes away. That's what I basically lived on. I quit drinking, the soft drinks, and I tried to start eating more healthy foods without taking in a lot of sweets and carbohydrates and those kinds of things. I feel like maybe the medication that he put me on may have helped with the weight loss, but I lost 47 pounds of weight within about a 6 months period. I think that helped me better than anything, because the doctor explained to me that first day that kindly how the diabetes works and how the body absorbs all of it. And so he told me that having a certain weight, that your body had to produce so much insulin or whatever it was to take care of that. And so it made good sense, the least amount of weight you have, that it would be less effect on being able to do that. And so I've lost the weight, and I've put a little back on since then, but I've been able to maintain my weight, and I've gotten along real well.
So do you have an activity plan that you do?
Well, he wanted me to do a lot of walking, which is one of the best things that you can do. But unfortunately, I have a bad knee joint, and I'm unable to do a lot of walking. But I do some in the building. Try to do some exercises there at school. We've got some things there at school that we work out on, and occasionally I try to do that. But that's one thing that I would encourage people that can to walk and to exercise, because when you are able to burn those calories up, that helps you to maintain your body weight, and it really it takes a lot of effort sometimes, but it's something that we just have to do. And when we have to be serious about it. I talk to so many people, and they'll say, well, how in the world did you get off your medicine, or how do you keep from taking the medicine and things? But the average person sometimes, I believe, thinks that if they're diagnosed with diabetes, they can get on medication and continue the same lifestyle that they're doing, and things will work out. But it's more serious than that. You can't just take your medication and continue to eating the same kinds of things. You have to have some willpower, I think. And so I've tried to maintain that, and it's been after I got used to it, I don't pay any attention to it anymore. I mean, it's just like a normal. I go to the table, I eat what I need to eat, and my wife helps fix those kinds of things for me, and so it's just a way of life. But it's a good way of life because I don't have to take any medication. And at my age now, I'll be 62 this next month, and there's not a lot of people that age in this day and time that doesn't take some kind of medication. So I'm just very fortunate in that I don't have to do that.
Now you mentioned that you're principal of the school.
I am.
So is this elementary?
Elementary, K through 7, yes ma'am.
All right, and so one of the problems we're seeing nationally, and particularly in the Appalachian region, is this large number of children that are overweight and obese. What do you see there at school? Well,
that's ironic that you asked me that today. That's what me and the phys ed teacher's been doing today, is going over a list of we have to weigh our kids in at the beginning of every year, and their height and so on, do certain kinds of physical exercise with them, and document it. We were just looking at how many kids we have in our school that are obese or overweight. What we've done, I guess, when I got diagnosed with diabetes, and we've started doing some things at school that we feel like is going to help our children. We've installed a rock climbing wall within our gym for kids to do exercises on, and we've got a playground that's it's a physical playground. It's not just one that like normal playgrounds. It's for kids to do certain exercises on, and we were awarded a grant to get that built, and so we have that. Plus, we've started walking our children. It's a volunteer of the mornings, but I would say as many as 60% have taken part in it. And at 10 minutes after 8 in the mornings, we take them to the gym or outside if it's weather permits, and we walk those kids for around 20 minutes. And that extra exercise has helped. Plus, the PE teacher has tried to help some of the children that are, I guess, more severe, work out plans and try to encourage them and help them to lose weight. But we do have, that's a great concern, because so many of these young children now are overweight, and that is something that could lead to diabetes and on down the road for them in their lives. And if we can't get those kinds of things controlled at a young age, then this next generation is going to be even more severe than it is now.
Are you doing other things at your school? I hear a lot of talk about vending machines and school lunches and those things.
One thing that we did do last year, and we're just still in the process of getting our signs and getting everything. All the schools are doing a walking path around I guess more or less for the elderly, but our students can take advantage of that because it'll be right on campus. And we're planning on using that as part of the walking, instead of the gym, we're going to use the walking path. but we have incorporated that. Now, as far as the vending machines, I can't speak for the other schools in our county, but we don't have any. I've even this past year we had one for the faculty, a drink machine in the office. I've even removed that. We do have water for them. I don't sell any extra things in the cafeteria, you know, like the slushies and all those things. And the guidelines down from the state or the federal government has taken notice to a lot of these things, and we're trying to feed now more less sugar and more foods that are better for the kids, and but it's all controlled through the federal program. But we don't sell anything at our school. I think other schools do sell extras and things for, but we try to feed them a good meal, and the breakfast. Of course, the breakfast could be much better. You know, lots of times it's the kids don't have that much time when they get in to eat and that kind of thing. But the lunch, and we do have after-school program, and we do feed them in the after-school program as well. And a lot of the kids, that's probably the only 3 meals they get. So, you know, but it's. I think we really need something in the schools. And I don't know who would be able to do that, but I think we need to do little workshops with a lot of our kids on, you know, having better health, and you know, not scare them as far as if they're overweight, what could happen, and just let kids, especially at 5th, 6th, and 7th grade level, see what you know, things that could help them to, and encourage them, and maybe have some type of program that they could get in, you know, like a Weight Watchers program or something, where they could be monitored and help, because we are seeing a lot of kids that's overweight.
Do you have a coordinated school health committee?
Well, we have what we call a wellness policy for our school system. We do have a committee for that. We have. You know, like at our parties and things, we, you know, don't let the parents bring in, you know, a lot of real sweet cake, ice cream, you know, that kind of thing. We try to do things, we've got a policy that they go by for those kinds of things at school. But, you know, I think one of the things that is a lack of exercise with our children. They go home, they don't have chores like we did when I was growing up. They sit down at the computer, they grab munchies and a drink, and, you know, they don't do any chores around the house, or, you know, a lot of them don't take Little League ball or cheerleading or those kinds of things. They're not interested in that, and so we find them sitting behind their computer munching on food instead of out, you know, doing some exercise. And, of course, in this area we don't have a lot of things that is available to our students. I noticed this past, I guess it was yesterday, where the Board of Supervisors has gone in with YMCA and maybe is going to try to do some things. And so, but we're just, I guess, where we live, we're deprived from a lot of, the kids are, from a lot of things that they could take advantage of.
How about the teachers at the schools?
Well, our teachers, we have, last year we started, we have a weight loss program that we did until the end of the year, and some of them participated in the summer, and I'm glad I didn't, because I put on a little during the summer. But we've just kindly do it as a program, and we give away at the end of the year whoever loses the most. And we had one lady this past year, one of my custodians, lost 47 pounds. And it's made a great difference. She's a cancer survivor, and it's made a great difference in the way she feels and things. And so we're going to still do that again this year. And so we have some teachers that you know, need to take advantage of that. And so we're trying to do that as a encouragement and have a little fun in it, doing it as well.
You think that's looked upon positively by the?
It is, you know, our faculty. We've even had parents come in, you know, that knew that we were involved in it, and some of the parents have even asked to be in it, and they come in on Thursday mornings and weigh in, you know, just so. it's been something that's been positive for, you know, our faculty and staff, but still it's, you know, some of the people in the community have taken advantage of it too. So that's you know, that's even been better.
Exactly, exactly. One of the things that's really challenging now, I think, is how to get to the families. You know, I mean, you have the kids for 6, 7, 8 hours a day, but then they go home to their families, and how do we get that information back home?
Well, that's a real good question, and that's probably one of the hardest things that I have as a principal, teachers have at school, is to instill in the parents the need to be involved in not just necessarily the academics of their child, but also the social things that they're involved in, as well as their meaningfulness of, you know, eating good foods. And we have so many kids today that are living with grandparents and foster children, and it's real difficult to instill in the parents the need, you know, and many times they don't see the same kind of need that we do, and it's real difficult to try to get them involved in their child's overall program for their child. It really is.
Yeah, it's a major challenge, I think. So.
It is a major challenge, and I'd like to be able to do some more things, and but you know, we're just limited with resources, and we do through our after-school program occasionally have things where the parents come in, and we've taught them computer skills and different kinds of things like that, but we've never worked with them with any you know, any nutritional things for their children and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just admiring your tie.
Today was bus evacuation day.
Okay.
So on bus evacuation day, I always wear a tie with buses and things, and kids, to, you know, so they know. And I wear a lot of Christian ties. I wear a lot of kids' ties, and just, you know, the kids are fascinated by it, and it just, you know, it's something that I do. I wear a Mickey Mouse watch because the kids love it. But, you know, you have to have a good rapport with your faculty, and you got to have a good rapport with your students and your parents. And I've been very fortunate since I've been at Cleveland to be able to do that. And I try to do things with the kids, and, you know, they love the ties, and they come around and they get me ties for Christmas. And when I started principal 10 years ago, I probably had 5 ties, and now I've got 2 racks full. And most of the kids, they do that, but yeah. But it was bus evacuation day today.
Okay, and so what does that mean? That
we in the fall and spring, we have to do bus safety with our children, and so we take them out and train them in case we have an accident on the bus, or it would be broke down and we'd have to evacuate for some reason. Mm-hmm. We have a plan that we go through, mm-hmm. and so we practice that drill. It's kind of like a fire drill. We have mm-hmm. to do a fire drill every week for a month, and then one every month. You know, evacuating the building, and then mm-hmm. once a year we do a tornado drill, mm-hmm. and you know, we've got lax on that. We thought the tornado drill only affected people off from here, and then last spring, within 30 or 40 miles here, we had a major tornado there. Yeah. So, you know, we need to take things serious, and the kindergarten through 3rd grade, we do a special program with them about crossing the road, and we show them how they're to get away from the bus and those kinds of things. Mm-hmm. But that's what it's a safety thing right. for the children, yeah.
Right. Well, I think that I've pretty much asked you all the questions that I really, you know, had on my list for you today. Is there anything else that you want to share?
Well, one of my best friends was my ag teacher in high school. And I lived in Dearly, and then as time went on, I kind of got away from you know, visiting with him, or kind of lost count of him. And in his later years, he was a diabetic, and in his later years, he lost both of his legs. And I believe if he could be here today talking the people, that he would want people to know how serious diabetes is. And I think he would want people to know that, you know, things, if goes unnoticed and goes on too long, it's very serious. And I wouldn't be telling that, I'm not telling that to scare people, but, you know, it is severe, diabetes is, and that I believe that we need to educate our people on the seriousness of it, as well as the things that they can do to overcome it, and how easy it is sometimes to overcome things that we see, adversities that come in our life, and how we can overcome those things with a least amount of effort sometimes that it takes, so that we can live a good normal life for a long time and have a long life. And you know, as I said at the start of the taping here today, I had all those symptoms of diabetes and let them go unignored. I was, my eyes were changing fast. My glasses, I had to have them changed, that my vision even got at the last where it was getting blurry. And I just thought it was, you know, something else. Didn't think about it being a diabetes. I was exhausted all the time. You know, I was tired. Drank water. Went to the bathroom all. I mean, you know, all the things that we see. And when one of those things, you notice one of those things in your life coming about, you need to go have it checked. And make sure, you know, it's so easy to get your sugar checked. You know, you just poke your finger, and of course the A1C is a little different, but it's so easy to see. And we just don't in our lives, we don't see the need sometimes to do those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But I thank God today that for allowing me to overcome this. I give Him a lot of the credit for making me healthy again. You know, I try to do things in my life to, you know, uplift Him. And, you know, prayer is a great thing. And when we pray many times, we feel like that maybe God's not answering, He's not hearing us, but somewhere down the road, you know, one day it happens that we see Him answering those calls. And so, you know, we need to be people that encourage people to do the right thing once they do get diabetes, but we need to also let them know and be aware of what changes they can make in their life to keep from having something that could be devastating to them.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for having me here today. And,
well, this will
I
be...
hope that maybe something that I do, or
yeah.
you know, maybe say it that somebody might hear and it might encourage them. You know, I do a radio ministry every Sunday morning, and you know, I encourage my people that on the radio to do the right thing and with their life as far as the Lord. But at the same time, I try to encourage my kids to do things better than maybe I did when I was growing up, and I try to teach them from mistakes that I see I made in my life. And if we just touch one kid or one person, and that changes them, and we see something great happen from them, then it's been worth all the effort that we've put into it.
Exactly.
And so that's just what you know, that's kind of what my philosophy is, and I try to, as long as the Lord allows me to be healthy, I'm going to try to be there for those kids and do what I feel like that they need, because if we retire and go home and we're depressed because we're not doing the things that we enjoy doing in our life, then we're defeating our purpose.
Yeah, yeah.
And so,
well, I'm sure you're a great encouragement to a lot of folks.
Well, I hope
you know,
I hope
they
I
give a
am.
wonderful story.
But it's you know, I tried people. You know, this is my 41st year of education, and during that time, I drove the school bus 21 years, and so kids is all. That's all I don't know much about them, but I know that's about all I know. And
well,
so,
you probably know a lot of people in this community who were some of those kids at one point.
Well, my kids, I either went to school with their grandparents or I taught their parents. That's basically, I mean, I graduated at this school. It was at high school at that time. When Cleveland School was built, it was 1963, and I was in the 9th grade. I graduated in 67, and then I came back in 84 as a teacher, and then I came back in 2001 as a principal. So, I've been at that school building many days of my life, and I'll have to say they've been even when I was going to school, they've been rewarding days, because, every day you'll see something. You'll be blessed every day by seeing something that a kid does, or they'll share a story with you or something that just is magnificent. So it's all worth it. Anytime we work with children, it's worth every effort, because they're going to be, one day they're going to be doing the same things that we're doing.
Exactly.
And if we don't train them and teach them and encourage them, then they're going to have that desire to do the things that we are. And we're a different generation than they are. And
Exactly.
it's a much more difficult generation now in one respect. I mean, I know it's easy for them to do technology, and I get the kindergarten to show me how to do the things on the computer. But, the technology is getting so great that students today, even the kid now that's in the 8th grade, by the time they get out of college, I mean, what we've taught them now will be obsolete. I mean, it's changing that fast.
Yeah, sure.
And so we have to be up to with everything to do that. And one other thing, and I'll hush. Last year, we won a Blue Ribbon Award for our school. And I don't say that to be, boasting or anything like that, but I'm proud of what our kids did and our faculty and staff was able to do. We were one of 5 or 6 elementary schools in the state of Virginia that was able to accomplish, through our test scores and through our disadvantage as being a disadvantaged school, we were able to master that great award. Only 250-some schools in the United States received that. And to be able to do that with kids that are disadvantaged, we have to be doing some things right in their lives. And so, it was a great honor, and I know the kids worked hard and the faculty worked hard, but sometimes our kids face a lot of diversities with the way the food they have to eat at home, the living conditions that they're in. Yet they come to school, and while we've got them, they perform and do what we ask them to do, and are able to succeed. And so that's what we have to be doing in our schools, is to help make sure that these kids are succeeding. And we can't leave a minute out that we don't try to do that. And with great effort from everyone, the community and the parents have just been so good to me since I've been at Cleveland. They've worked with me, and they depend on my judgment many times on their children and what to do. And that makes me feel good to know that we have people that's counting on me to give them advice on how they can have a better life for their children. And so that's what's a great thing about being a principal, is that we do have that opportunity to do that with our kids.
Well, it sounds like you're doing a lot of things right.
Well, I try to, and I work hard at it, and we have to work. Nothing's was given to me as I grew up, and I worked my way through college, and was able to drive the school bus and pay my tuition and work my way through college. And so I know what it means to work and to accomplish something. And I think a lot of our children today need to have that desire and know that we have to work hard if we are to succeed.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.